Happy Monday, everybody. How are we? How are we? Hopefully everyone had a nice weekend. Hopefully everyone's catching up on their builds and making progress, because we are little by little getting closer to the Florida State Car Audio Finals that are sponsored by US Amps. And also, the weekend after is Slam Fest, which we will be at as well. We plan to have a few vehicles there, and vehicles that some of you guys haven't seen, and some changes to some of our Team US Amps vehicles that you guys also haven't seen. So, very excited about that. I'm going to give a couple minutes here. Good morning, Mitch. Good morning, John. How are you? How are you? So, it's unfortunate I'm blocking people that can't wait until after our live, which we do every week. So, hopefully everybody had a nice weekend. Mr. Welsh, how are you, brother? Hopefully everybody spent time with their families. I'd love to see some of your builds. For those of you that don't know Eric Strickler, he's part of the US Amps family, part of Team US Amps. He has the little dog Dozer that he brings around to all the shows. If you haven't seen his, I think he calls it the Boomin' Badillac, maybe. He's created his own page for the build, and that's a great idea, and also, you know, gives the vehicle some notoriety. So, but it's just made me think about all of you guys that are on here every week, that whether you talk to me back and forth or not, some of you, you know, we've built things for. Some of you just use our equipment. Some of you don't even use our equipment, and that's perfectly fine. I'm just an audiophile, and I want to see what you guys are building. So share that stuff with us, man. You know, I'd really like to see some of your builds. We're always looking for content. So obviously, if your build has US Amps equipment in it, we would like to build a couple posts, you know. But Rigo is a stickler for having the specifics. He wants to know everything that's in there, and that way he can create, like, you know, the vehicle spotlights that we've been doing. So if you have a build and you want to be featured in US Amps Inc. or our YouTube page, please reach out to either myself or Rigo and get us the information. We'll gladly do that. So again, I'm just going to ask real quick, because I've noticed that we did go up a little bit on our YouTube page, but not much. You know, we have geez, what do we got here? Let me go real quick. Professional dashboard. I do not care about monetization. So we have just at care about achievements. I don't want to see this stuff, man. I am not good with computers, that's for sure. Give me a second, I'll get to your questions. I think we're right around 35,000 followers on our USAMPS Facebook page. On our USAMPS YouTube page, we're right at like 1,900. So please, 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 even if you don't watch, you don't have to watch any of our videos, but please, if you could, go to youtube.com and go to USAMPS and just hit the subscribe button. You don't have to like the videos. There's some cool content on there. Some of it, you know, I run off at the mouth sometimes, so sometimes that could get boring or mundane to watch, but some of it could be informational and useful knowledge to you, and that's what I'm gonna try to do moving forward. Speaking of that, for those of you that joined our Tuning Tuesdays, the Tuesday before last, we're gonna continue that with tomorrow. Tomorrow we will continue our Tuning Tuesdays, and we're going to work on showing you how to set up your signal from your head unit to your mids and highs amp, and then to obviously your speakers afterward, to make sure that your signals are not clipped. So we're going to do it live tomorrow, and then I will share it to our YouTube page as well. And being with that, I want to make a correction, because I showed you guys and spoke about how I made and changed the ends to the oscilloscope so Tony could plug the oscilloscope directly into the RCA leads. And when I was talking about the RCA leads, I spoke about the center being the positive and the outside being the negative. That was incorrect. And thank you to David Stevens for correcting me. These outside is the shield and the inside is the signal regarding when you're referring to RCA. It's not a positive and negative. It's not a in phase or out of phase. We're not talking about that type of resistance. It's a signal and a shield. So I apologize for my mistakes, but like I always say, I am human, and I like to show you guys we are human here. We do make mistakes, but we try to learn from them and move forward, correct? Okay. So again, tomorrow we're going to share live out here in the shop. Sorry for all the noise in the background, but they are working diligently to try to get the vehicles ready for the Florida State Car Audio Finals, sponsored by USAMPS, and then the weekend after, which is Slam Fest. Again, we're gonna have vehicles at the Florida State Car Audio Finals that you guys have not seen at other shows with USAMPS. In addition to the USAMPS vehicles that we've changed and upgraded, there will also be USAMPS vehicles, Team USAMPS vehicles that you guys have not seen. So I'm excited about it. I hope you guys are too. I'm looking forward to meeting you guys, some of you guys in person that I haven't met before. And yeah, just moving forward, always constant forward progression. So we had a good week last week. Orders were crazy. I really appreciate it. We did have a lot of rescinded orders or disputed orders, which again, you guys know from a business aspect, that's not good. And now our website has started to keep 25% of all of our proceeds to make sure that they can pay back anytime some of those disputes go through. So that really stinks from a business aspect. So just so you know, real quick, let me share this information. Thank you, Anthony, for asking. Pretty sure it's October 3rd and 4th, I believe. Let me just make sure. I don't want to speak and be incorrect here. All right, so the Florida State Car Audio Finals, sponsored by USAMPS, is October 3rd and 4th, 2026. The weekend after is the 35th anniversary of Slam Fest, October 10th and 11th at the Florida State Fairgrounds. For those of you who don't know, the Florida State Car Audio Finals are at the Hernando County Fairgrounds, same place as Made of Steel. And for any of you that I don't talk to personally on a normal, regular basis, if you have USAMPS equipment in your build, even if you don't, and you want to come park with us or come enjoy the show, hit me up, man. I'd love to have you guys there. Please. Joe Welsh, you want to come up, man? Bring your vehicle. It doesn't have to win awards. We're not going for that. We're going for team representation, showing everybody how US Amps is growing as a family. Every year we're growing by leaps and bounds. I mean, forget sales. I don't give a shit about money. Fuck money. All right? If you guys don't know me by now, I ain't about that. What I'm about is our product growing, our product becoming better. Every time that we release something, it's better than either the version before, or when the product is released, it's as good as we can afford to make it because of the R&D that we're putting in. So I'm proud of that, and that's what I want to show everybody at the Florida State Car Audio Finals, because this is going to be the either the second or third year that we'll be there, and this is the second year, I think, in a row that we've sponsored the show, and I'm just really excited about having a lot of you guys there. Okay, so moving on. Let me get to some of your questions here this morning. What's up, Mike? Mitch Sapp, how are you, brother? Mr. Christopher, how are you? Mr. Welsh, there you are. What's up, brother? Julio Rivera, what's up, man? Joe Hudson, hi, Mike. Hope all is well. Question about the Impact 104. I'm looking to help my son-in-law with a little budget build. What is the rear output bridged mono? Like 240-ish? Looking forward to using some more of your higher end products in the future. Well, Joe, let me go grab a 100.4 and answer based on what the Build House gave us for information. So, as I said, the information that's on not only the back of the box for the Impact Series amplifiers, that was given to us by ADS. I don't have the equipment to test total harmonic distortion, noise floor, other things like that. This is not what I wanted, but to answer your question, bridged, your 300 by 2. That's at 4 ohm. 300 by 2 at 4 ohm. So that would be your front channels bridged, and then your rear channels bridged. You'd have 300, so around 600 watts. So for those of you that don't know or haven't already heard, we've already sent these amplifiers to Douglas Bruce, who has a few different audio precision units, and he is now doing the tests very soon for all of our equipment, just to show you another somebody that's not involved with the brand, somebody that's not taking our money and would benefit from showing good numbers. I want to show the world what the equipment does, okay? And we want to learn from it as well. If the impacts aren't doing what they're supposed to do, then we want to know that, regardless of what it is, power-wise, THD, all of the information that we give you. First of all, I want to make sure it's accurate, and second of all, if something needs to be changed, then we can do that moving forward. My former salesperson that we were dealing with at ADS is no longer there, so I've been dealing with, I think, who is like the vice president of sales, which is great. We do have, for those of you that love the Impact line, I love the Impact line. I love it not only because of the price point, but because of what it is. We've sold hundreds of units at this point and have had 0 returns. So we currently have and are working on a 3000.1 to offer you guys a larger, not larger in size because it's only a little bit larger than the 1000.1. But it is a 3000.1 at 1 ohm. So let me just check and make sure that I'm saying this properly. This is my conversation with ADS, you see? Wednesday, 3 o'clock in the morning. When you guys are sleeping is when I'm talking to the build houses. See, it says ADS at the top here. All right, payment. Yeah. So I sent them money for 2 of the 3,000.1s. 2 of they have a little bit larger 4-channel, which I think is a 400 by 4, in a little bit larger chassis than the 100 by 4. And then there's also a 5-channel that I ordered that's larger than the 5-channel that we tested live a few months ago. And I have 2 of those coming as well. But what's really exciting to me, not only because of the past equipment that we've had from them, but these amplifiers now have built-in LED lights. They can dance with the music, or you can, make it go with your build, which I think is great. I mean, that's, I don't know, for custom installs and stuff like that, I think it's cool. So let's see here. Again, I just want to reiterate, the larger sub amp is 1300 by 1 at 4 ohm, 2000 by 1 at 2 ohm, and 3000 by 1 at 1 ohm. The 4-channel is 400 by 4 at 4 ohm, 600 by 4 at 2 ohm. And then the 5-channel is 120 by 4 at 2 ohm, and 350 by 1 at 4 ohm, or 180 by 4 at 2 ohm, and 600 by 1 at 2 ohm. So they're working on these amplifiers now. Hopefully we'll see them soon, and we will test them live. Then afterwards, they'll go to Douglas Bruce, and he can test them and make sure that they produce the power, noise floor, THD is all within line of what we want. I ordered 2 for a reason, guys. And for those of you that are new to our R&D, I'm going to let you know what we do. So what we've done for the last few years, when we have a company like this that builds equipment for us, I get 2 of the prototypes. One stays here, which I test with my limited skill and knowledge, but thanks to Douglas Bruce, now I have him available to help. But the other one goes to Dirk, to Rigo, who takes it to Dirk. And Dirk goes through it and tells me what needs to be changed. The current ADS amplifiers, Dirk found a few issues with those amps, and what was great about ADS is they fixed them. And that's apparent by the lack of returns that we've had with those amplifiers. So hopefully that answered your question, Joe, in a long-winded answer, but Mike P., how are you, brother? Mr. Stevens, hello. For those who don't know, Mr. Stevens is a well-known amplifier technician, has been around a very long time, has been involved with a lot of the loved classic AB amplifiers and other amplifiers that you know and love and are known to be, I mean, yeah, I don't want to speak for him, but he's been kind enough to take on the challenge of working on our version 2 for our 100HC. In addition to the version 2 heatsink, I want the amplifier to run cooler if possible, and to be able to, I know a lot of times when we've tried pushing that amp at 2 ohm mono, for those of you that remember the original Z28 build, that back design was built as like a waterfall. We had 4 of the 100HCs, each one on one of our 15s. We had 4 15s in that car in that B-pillar wall, and one 100HC on each subwoofer. Then we had 2 SQ442, so it kind of looked like a waterfall. They were all the same color. But the very first Florida State Car Audio Finals we went to, I think it was not last year, but the year before, we had issues running that car all day out in the hot sun, giving demos. And at the time, I didn't have any fans, so not fans as in friends, fans as in blowing cool air. So I wasn't able to keep the car going, so we had to just keep turning it off and letting it cool off. yes, Class AB runs warm. My first message was to Dirk. I'm like, Dirk, what do I do? He's like, well, where are your fans? I don't see any fans. I'm like, I don't have any fans on there. He goes, you can't run Class AB, especially out in the Florida sun without fans on them. Are you crazy? He goes, it also looks like from the picture, and he was right. I didn't even think about it. The way we had the car pulled in, the back was facing the sun all day. So the amps, that whole waterfall of amps was just sitting there in the sun all day. We're lucky it played at all. But anyway, moving forward, hopefully David I know he's found some ways to make some improvements, and hopefully either he can do them physically, or Sam can do them physically, or maybe even Dirk can do them physically, and we can make sure before we go into production for the version 2s that we have a stronger, more durable amplifier. There's nothing wrong with the version 1s. They're great amplifiers. Douglas Bruce has done a test of those already, which Rigo is working on showing you guys the results. I think Douglas has said more than once that it's one of the cleanest amplifiers that he's ever tested, and that's what we want. But now we want to work on the durability, and for the average user to be able to buy a Class AB 100HC and be able to install it and use it. Unfortunately, Class AB is very finicky. It requires more amperage. It requires more voltage, better grounds. A lot of stuff where a Class D amplifier, like the Impact amp, where the average person that doesn't know much can probably throw in their car and make it work. You can't do that with our Class AB amps, and that's what I want to try to improve on. So thank you, David, for your help in that. Jacob Scott, hello, Mike. I sent you a DM. I appreciate you and your team. Thank you, Jacob. Just so you guys know, for those of you that are messaging me, I'm not ignoring you. I'm trying to keep up. As the business is growing, and I continue to wear the same hats and not share any of the workload here, my time to keep up with messages, phone calls, emails, and filling orders is shrinking. So I try my best to keep up with your messages, guys. If I don't answer you, I'm not trying to be a dick. You'll know it when I'm being a dick. Trust me, you won't have to question it. I do not hide my fucking feelings. I don't wear any sleeves, right? So I can't wear my feelings on my sleeves. You'll know when I'm not happy. Renee Potts, what's up, Mike? What's up, my brother? How are you? Hopefully all is well. Hopefully you're getting your new vehicle all set up, and hopefully we will see you soon. Hopefully we'll see you at the audio finals with you. Renee was one of the first people to order a Merlin 5K, so thank you, brother. I love you. Jason Wright, oh man, once again, I'm getting zero reception. Thank you, Jason. Go to YouTube this afternoon or this evening, and you'll be able to watch and fast forward through me running my mouth. But thank you. Jason Wright is part of Team US Amps and is building a Team all US Amps vehicle in honor of one of his friends, and trying to help him out with that. That's how we met. Mr. Frederick, good afternoon. How are you, sir? Josh, what's up, man? Good morning. For those of you who don't know, Joshua Lane, in addition to Kyle has been helping me with my CAD and my CNC problems, or basically I don't know CAD very well. So when I have an idea, I've been getting with Kyle Collins as part of Team US Amps. He's part of the family. He's been helping me for over a year. He helped get my CNC machine set up and running, and he's helped with pretty much every CAD design that I've had since the Prodigy is no longer with us. So now we've met, thankfully, by this great community that we have. We've met another local guy, Joshua Lane, and he's been helping getting the machines running here, our 3D printers, because there's always something going on with the 3D printer. If you're using them a lot, you'll know that no matter how good the brand is, there's always something. So Josh has been helping with that, and he's also been helping with some of the CAD work. So our family is growing by leaps and bounds, and I love it. Everybody that we have working for us, working with us, and anybody that's part of the team now, it's just a great group of guys, and I really feel blessed. So Anthony, if you're gonna bring the Tacoma, I would love to have you, bud. I would love to have you. You as well, Mike. If you're done, I mean, even if you're not done, you're more than welcome just to come. October is a busy month, Josh, yes. For those of you that saw what we've shared of Mitch Sapp's Hellcat build that we did here at the US Amps R&D Lab, he will be there. He has a 500 HC powering 2 custom-made 12s that we built here, a couple sets of timbers running on a Merlin 250.4 prototype, which was upgraded and repaired by Sam. Thank you very much at Suncoast Amp Lab. Got to give a shout out to my brother from another mother, Sam, at Suncoast Amp Lab. Suncoast Amp Lab is the only authorized repair facility for US Amps. Also got to give a shout out while I'm doing shout outs to Seth and the guys over at Glow Voltage. But those of you who want to see Mitch Sapp's beautiful Hellcat build, go to the Florida State Car Audio Finals. So we will also have, hopefully, my buddy Phil with the, if you guys remember us sharing the F350 SEMA truck, we were calling it. It was an old body style Ford that took up half of our shop because it was enormous on air ride and built motor completely custom. So yes, absolutely. Wes, that's your purple amp right there, Wes. I just saw you pop up there, so I didn't end up putting it on the bench. It'll be on the bench today. I'm going to test it, and then it'll be on its way to you. So, yes, Phil will hopefully have his beautiful, we call it the SEMA F350 build out there, which is all US amps, obviously. Hopefully Big John will have the Suburban, the old body style Suburban dually out there. And we're pushing to try to get the Team US Amps Nissan hardbody complete. We're pushing to get the Resurrection, or the change that we've found just by using it as a tune model on our Tuning Tuesdays. We found a lot of issues with the Z-Tony 8, and we couldn't help but fix them. So that's what the guys are working on now, and as well as the Team US Amps Dodge Raider. For those of you who don't know, that Team US Amps Dodge Raider was the original Team US Amps, one of the original Team US Amps vehicles from back in the 90s. We purchased it shortly after purchasing the brand. Unfortunately, my supposed investor slash partner at the time basically just wanted the equipment that was in it, which he ripped out immediately and then brought it here. And thankfully I was able to save the vehicle, because otherwise it would have just rotted on the side of his building. But thankfully to the new guys here, Tony Cotton has redone the enclosure in the Team US Amps Dodge Raider. We have 9 12s going in there, which we are custom building right here. Precision Econowind. Lacey should have hopefully our voice coils here next week. I got some of the other parts from Lorda Base, and then some of the other parts coming from Wisconsin or Michigan, the guy in Michigan up there. So, all right. Let's see. Cam Johnson, what's up, Mike? Hey, how are you, buddy? Steven Rogers, what's up, my friend? Jason Hardison, how are you? Jason Hardison, your YouTube or your video of your unboxing has like over 12 or 1,300 views. Steve, David, I had planned on coming to Florida soon, but I'm unable to make arrangement on current pay for projects, so it looks like I won't be coming to show. David, if that's a reference to something that you're doing for me, you don't want to do this publicly, but I'm glad to. I have no secrets, and I'm not afraid to talk about anything I do, because I know in my heart that I do things properly. I can't pay anybody for talking. If you want to do something, if you need parts, I will gladly send you the parts. I will give you my code for my 2 or 3 different supply houses, and you can order what you need. I have a card there. But until you show me the changes that you're making actually functioning, then I can't just keep sending money. I've sent you money. Every time you've asked me, I've sent you money. Whether it was $100, whether it was $200, whether it was $30, I sent you money when nobody was talking to you and you needed money to live. So don't make it like I'm being a jerk, okay? You can't message me at 3 o'clock in the morning with pages of stuff that I don't have time to read. If you're hired to do something, which is fix an issue, then fix it. Don't talk about fixing it. You're physically capable of doing it. If you don't have the money for parts, I will put you on my account and you can send the parts to yourself. I have multiple cards on account there. Or if you don't want to physically do it, please instruct Sam on how to do it. But at the end of the day, just like anything, an idea or a thought is just a thought until you do it. You have to put it into action. And unfortunately, I don't have enough knowledge to keep up with what you're saying and understand that that's going to work. And another unfortunate thing, and this is unfortunate to you, is that the 3 or 4 people that have come before you that I've paid to take care of issues like this have taken my money and not done it. So I will continue to throw you 20, 30 bucks, yeah, whatever. But if you want to make money, do the physical work and you will be paid. Anybody that's ever done anything for me here knows I do not fuck around when it comes to money. I will fucking starve myself before I don't pay somebody for something that gets done here or for this brand. Please don't do stuff like that publicly. It's just not, this is not the place for it. This is supposed to be a place for people learning and people asking questions so they can learn more about the product and US Amps or anything car audio or audio related. I don't have a ton of knowledge, but I want to share whatever it is that I have, okay? And I definitely want you guys, if you have our equipment, I want you to be successful in your builds. I refused to send you 20 bucks because I had just sent you money 2 days before, and it was a Friday afternoon, and you called me 5 times in a row to ask me for 20 bucks. That's like strange behavior. So don't do this publicly. I'm going to block you, and then you're not going to be on here anymore. Stop it. It's rude. I like the Impact 100.4. I've run 2 of them so far. Planning like 10 more. Thank you, Josh. Yes, those are great little amplifiers. My wife isn't home this week. Send out my 10K. Steven, hit me up after the live, and we will make that happen. Cliff Farley, how are you? So I got to give a quick shout out to, I do not lie, David. Don't do that. I can show where you called me literally 4 times in a row to ask me for $30. So stop. Cliff and his brother-in-law Jeff, they have the Team US Amps. They call it the Cobra. So I had a guy call last week, right? I think it was Thursday or Friday, and they said they were at, I think it was Slamology. Please, I apologize if I said it wrong. A show that I'm not aware of. It was up north somewhere, I believe in Ohio. This guy said that he demoed the first day, I forget how many vehicles he said, like literally as many demos as he could get. The second day, same thing. He said of all the vehicles that he listened to, the Team US Amps Cobra was the cleanest, most robust sound that he heard out of anything. He said, yeah, was there louder cars? Yes. Were there cars that had more bass? Yes. But as for a car that had mids and highs and bass that it kept up with itself and sounded like a complete package, this was it. So thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Cliff. I appreciate you guys. That's the stuff that I want to hear. He in turn ordered a Merlin 5K because of that. So thank you. That's what I want. I want you guys, that's what this is for. The Tuning Tuesdays, the Mondays with Mike, is so you guys don't have questions on how to install your SQ442. So you don't blow up a channel trying to run a 100HC that you're trying to hook up with a single 1-out wire. Joe Hudson, thank you. Your response is exactly what why I'm pushing your products, and they will be going and a high-end build in my kit replica. Oh, tell me you're doing, what is it, an 81 or 82 Firebird Trans Am? I imagine a kit replica should be a Trans Am, or is it a Firebird that they used? Regardless, Joe, I would love to be part of that. As a 6 or 7 year old young Michael James on my bicycle, I have a piece of paper somewhere where I wrote down all of the stuff that I needed to make my bike as close to kit as possible. I had a portable, I think it was a 4 or 5 inch television that worked on D batteries, like 20 D batteries, and it had a built-in radio. I had that thing taped and strapped to my handlebars, and I thought I was the coolest thing ever. It was black and white, by the way, so that tells you how old that is. But I would love to be, for US Amps to be part of that kit replica in any way we can. I am currently working on a touch screen, basically a car PC that will monitor and hopefully in the future control our amplifiers and all of our other equipment. I'm going to talk with Dylan Reich over at SCT. He sent over, oh, I don't have him up here, guys, but Dylan Reich at SCT has made these, basically a temperature sensor for your voice coils on your subwoofers. They are wired. I want to work on a wireless version of that. Also, same thing with temperature sensors for the amplifiers, but I want to work on this head unit that will be touchscreen and be able to control and change things. You know, you'd be able to change the gains or change the crossover points or whatever on your amplifiers. So this is just ideas right now, but I have the parts ordered. It's going to be based on probably a Raspberry Pi 5 for those of you that know what that is. But yes, we're working on it. Rear channels bridged is 4 ohms, roughly 3. Okay, so Joseph, I think your name was. I'm sorry. Let me make sure. Who was the one that asked the question? Shoot. I can't find it. For the gentleman that asked the question about the 100.4. The answer here by Douglas Bruce is fact. He has the equipment to test it, and he has tested the amplifier. So he says, rear channels bridged is 4 ohms, meaning you cannot go lower than 4 ohm when bridging your channels. Please don't. Will it work? It might. The protection circuit will probably let it go a little bit lower than that, but not much. But don't do it because it's just going to hurt the amplifier. Make sure you're 4 ohm or higher. If you want to get the most power out of it, make sure you're at 4 ohm. So it's roughly 350 to 400 watts, depending if you want to clip or if you want the 1% THD. So that number that's on here, the 300 by 2, is obviously a little light if he's saying 350 to 400. If you want to go a little more into clipping, you'll be at 1% THD, which by most people's standards is probably not bad. The numbers that we're giving you is less than 1% total harmonic distortion, which is not normal for most Class D amplifiers. They'll show you a rating that might be less than 1% THD, but it's usually at 4 ohm, not bridged, stereo. Okay? They do that because it puts less pressure or less strain on the amplifier, and the amplifier makes cleaner power. But who uses a Class D amplifier not bridged, or who uses a Class D amplifier and isn't trying to max it out? I mean, you're trying to get the most out of it. Usually, a Class D amp is normally used for subwoofers from my old school time. Nowadays, I mean, with the stuff that, even the stuff that we're coming out with, I'm pretty surprised by the cleanliness of it. And it makes sense. It's easier to install. Thanks. There it is, Joe Hudson. Sorry, I didn't mention it would be at 4 ohms. Perfect. Excellent. You guys are answering your questions within yourself, so I appreciate it. We love Class A, B. Are there any plans for a clean Class D, or can you clean up Class D and put US Amps Nano Class D? Wes B, I think you're a little bit behind the times, my friend. go to usampsinc.com and you see the Merlin 5K and Merlin 10K. The power that those amplifiers are making, actually the power that we're reporting, is less than 1% THD. Will the amplifiers make more than that? Abso-fucking-lutely. Our 10K is doing close to 16,000 watts before clipping. The 5K does close to 9,000 watts before clipping. You can get more power out of that over 1% THD. That's not my wheelhouse. They'll do it. So yes, to answer your question, US Amps already has Class D amplification that is cleaner, stronger, more consistent, has more damping factor and slew rate than 99% of the Class D amplifiers that are available today. And that's what we spent the last 2 years doing. Thank you, Dirk Ecker. Yeah, the Impacts as well. The Impacts are great amplifiers for the money. The website says 360 by 1 at 4 ohms. Well, yeah, it shouldn't say by 1. Well, I guess by 1, but by 1 front and by 1 rear. That's what it should specify. I'll get that fixed. Or actually, if Rigo's on here, let's make sure we check on that. I'm gonna need some of those light up amps. They're cool, aren't they, Steven? I don't know. I think it's neat. I don't know if it has to be used. That's something that I got to check into as well, because I would like the ability to have it just off, you know? I need some fans in my trunk, same issue in the summer heat. All right, Joe, when I get off of the live here, I'm going to message you and show you which fans that we're currently using. They're very inexpensive. There's no EMI, meaning they won't add noise to your current audio system. A lot of fans out there, regardless of how loud they are, depending on how the fan turns, whether it's ball bearing or magnets or whatever, it can create something called EMI, which electronic something, I don't know, it makes noise. It adds noise to your system. So make sure, if you're not going to use what I specified to you, please make sure to find a fan that has little or no EMI. It's very important, especially with the SQ442. Do you have a recommendation for cooling fans? Yes. I will share that with you as well. Mr. Marion, how are you, my friend? Hopefully you've sent Rigo your information on your builds, and maybe your son's too, if I'm correct, if he's using our equipment. Even if not, man, I love you guys and appreciate all your support up there. I missed the episode of... Oh, Wes B. Okay, so this is Wes. Okay, Wes, I didn't realize it was the same Wes. Yes, Wes, I thought I told you about our Merlin amplifiers. But yes, we have some very clean, very powerful Class D amplifiers. Rigo, there he is. That's my brother. Good afternoon. Love seeing the brand growing weekly. Thank you, Rob Bass. You are the man. I am not the man. I am part of a team, and I love our family, so thank you. Canary Hill. So, what's up, Kay? How are you, man? A few weeks ago, Rigo reached out to me that... thank you, Douglas. I'll talk to you later. Rigo reached out to me that... MB from MBE Enclosures reached out and was interested in talking about our Merlin amplifiers, being that we, bragging about the damping factor and slew rate, and it was kind of refreshing. But anyway, he has a podcast that I think he does on Friday nights, and Canary Hill is another guy that talks with him on his podcast. Seems to be very knowledgeable, definitely very passionate about audio and car audio. And he was interested in testing out the timbers. He didn't ask me for anything for free. Neither did MB. And that's what I love, man. You know, if I get 5 or 6 messages a day, I mean, I get more than that. I probably get 5 or 6 emails a day of people asking for stuff for free. Messages and other messages on social media, messages on the phone, forget it. It's I can't even count how many people ask for things or money or equipment. Everybody just wants something. But meanwhile, most of the time they're sitting there not doing anything, and I'm running in a circle like a chicken with my fucking head cut off trying to keep up. I enjoy this time with you guys because it's a time where I can sit here and only focus on whatever it is I'm talking to you guys about. And believe it or not, in the way that my days have been the last 6 or 7 months since the brand has really exploded, it's kind of a welcome calm. So thank you guys. I appreciate the time with you guys. But anyway, Kanari didn't want anything for free. He purchased a set of timbers, and I think he's planning on doing some type of test for component speakers, I think. But looking forward to it. He says, "What's up, MJ? The camera does these timber components no justice. Having them in my hands, I see these things are next level." Thank you very much. Thank you. Honestly, Kanari, the only thing that shadows the aesthetic appearance of the timber component set is the way they perform. The way they perform after break-in is that much better. The way they perform, if you can run them active in lieu of using the passive crossover, that much better. The passive crossover does hold back the performance a little bit, and they're intended to do that. The crossovers are meant for the average everyday installer that really doesn't know how to tune properly, and it's to save the speakers from damage. So, but looking forward, Kanari, to what you do with the timbers. I do have a few old school Denon head units here and an Alpine. When you're getting your bench set up for testing, let me know. I'd be glad to donate one of my old school head units that's known as a sound quality head unit. And whenever you're done with it, whether it's a year, 2, 3 years from now, whatever it may be, then you can send it back to me, okay? I know how it is to try to get started with something like that. It can be difficult and very costly. And I have these head units, look, they're sitting right here doing nothing. So I'd be glad to donate to the cause for somebody that's trying to do something cool like that. There's a Denon and a couple Alpine pieces. Maybe also power supply if you need. So real quick before I move into more answers and questions, I just want to real quick show you guys, we have, thanks to Brendan Gardner, we do, let me turn this fan off, I know it's loud. We do have some of the new chemistry LTO banks assembled. Again, these are 120 amp hour LTO, but this is not, it doesn't regenerate, and the resistance is lower internally than another cell that is this size and same chemistry. The discharge rate is higher than another cell that you'll find online that might be similar in size and similar or same chemistry. The recovery rate, the ability of the cell to utilize most of its energy and then recover back to full strength or keep up with its workload, is not the same. And that's what makes these cells special. So as of right now, I think we have a few that people have asked for or reserved. So we have 7 available. And I've yet to send any out because we are working on the acrylic enclosure. You see we got the dovetail joints here. We're working on an acrylic enclosure that I want to fit together and work to where you can have your lugs exposed. Yeah, I'm not sure. Working on a couple different ideas. I'm not sure. So, but I want, in the end, I want the lugs to be exposed so you can attach your positives and negatives and for it to be safe and secure. I just realized after, thankfully, I showed it to Tony, I had ordered a bunch of Heltec balancers that were in an acrylic case or a 3D printed case maybe, with a display, but they were not, even though they said they were 6S, they were not 6S. They were actually 4S. So I sent those back. The proper ones should be here tomorrow. We have not given up. We are still working on, a few years ago, I developed these compression drivers. We're still working on a few different ideas for the US Amps lenses. These are for Mr. Jasinski, Brian Jasinski. Team Topo. Tap out or pass out, I think, is his van. A couple of 12s here that I built for someone. Mr. Janes, this is your second 12. I will finish this up hopefully this evening. Then get her glued in place. Got to do the soldering. These are nice. They came out very, very, very nice. No mechanical noise. I'm learning a lot as I do more of these. There's the 3D printed Timber 6x9 prototype. This is our Merlin X8 prototype. This is not the magnet or motor. I just had it set on here because I thought it looked cool. But this is the Merlin X8 basket. We have some changes to do, but that's what prototypes are for. This is just a 3D printed version. This is not what we're going to use, obviously, for a speaker. I am working on building a pair of 8s for MB at MB Enclosures. As you guys know, he is an 8-inch subwoofer fan. He does a lot of tests and does a lot of boxes with 8-inch subwoofers. So I want to build a set of R8s and send them over to him. This is Nigel's 10 that I built for him for his car. Where's the 18? This is the 18 for... Is that Dakota or no? Mitch Sapp's Honda. Yep. Mitch, are you gonna bring your Honda too? Can you do that? I don't know. I guess you can't bring both cars, right? You can't drive both physically. Once I get off the live here, actually I was gonna do it live. I have a purple SQ442 to build for customer, and then got a couple other colors to build. Give me 1 second, guys, then I'll catch up on your questions here. All right. Let's see. Let me catch up on your questions. Tim Smith, good afternoon. How are you? Leon Hayden, what's up, my friend? Please make a donation so I get great. Right here on live. I don't get it. Hey. Mr. Pecor, what's up, brother? Sky Conley, good morning, man. Real talk. What's up, my friend? How are you? You're venting. Absolutely. This is my forum. This is my live where you've decided to bring in something personal. I have nothing to hide, so probably not the right place for you to say something. I don't lie. I have no reason to lie, man. I purposely do that so when I lay my head down at night, I can rest. I treat everybody the way they treat me. Mr. Eggers, how are you, my friend? Peggy, how are you? For those who don't know, Peggy on here used to run the Gainesville US Amps facility. She ran things. If you have, you know what? Do I have any flipped over here? If you have a US amp and you flip it over, a lot of these older ones were handwritten on the boards. If there's something in cursive handwritten on the boards, most likely Miss Peggy did it. See right here? Miss Peggy, is that you? I bet you that's your handwriting, isn't it? Miss Peggy was kind enough to come out to a couple of the shows with us and do some meets and greets. really cool that, you know, part of the original team still, you know, wants to be part of the company. And that's you know, that's kind of what happened when Dirk got involved as well, you know. He sees that what we're trying to do. We're not trying to take advantage of people. We're trying to build the best product that we can. And at the end of the day, I mean, we're audiophiles. Everybody that's here, everybody that's part of the brand, well, I mean, I guess there's always a couple, but we got to fish them out. Everybody that's here is about trying to make the brand better. All right. 1983 Trans Am, I love it. The kit car. Absolutely, hit me up, Joe. I'd love to be part of that. That head unit is going to be awesome. Yes, I'm working on it. The parts should be here today. Not that I have a lot of time to work on stuff like that, but I am going to start working on it this evening. Mr. Gallardo, what's up, buddy? For those of you that don't know Alex Gallardo, or Gallardo, I don't know how to say it properly. Sorry, I'm messing up your name. I shouldn't do that. But he has the little red Nissan Fit. I think he calls it the Egg. The Toyota? Shit. I'm sorry. I shouldn't say Nissan Fit. That's not even a car. You know what I'm talking about. It's the red car that has the fucking tape all over it, the foam everywhere, and the straps and shit, just like Brendan's car. But I think I think Alex has made some significant improvements in the vehicle, and I definitely think the woofers have finally broken in. The former Neo 18s that were in the Z-Tony 8, the ones that, the video that went viral and everybody got crazy, and Jacob Fuller even contacted me, when we took out the nightshades, all we did was take out the nightshades and put in the Neo 18s right out of the box, brand new. We gained a full decibel in the car. Not saying that the woofers are better. The woofers might be better for that application, that box, the amps, whatever the fuck it was. But those are the subs. We had less than maybe 2 hours total playtime on those subs, if that. And it just made sense to put them in Alex's car. And I'm glad that he wasn't pushing them and trying to blow them up. So they finally broken in. You can see the movement, you know, the pressure that they're making. I'm excited. I can't wait to see. Alex, if the car is running and ready, maybe we can get it over and put it on the Term Lab and try to get it dialed in before the finals. I'd love to do that and help you do that. Please. And thank you. Travis. Father Greenhorn. What's up, my friend? Roberto Adamsuela, good morning, I'm late. It's okay, man, it's okay. You can always go to YouTube, and you don't even have to subscribe. I would appreciate it if you do. We're not trying to monetize. I'm trying to organically grow the brand. It irks me when you Google US amps and Down for Sound comes up. The only reason is that they're paying for that to happen. The more we, or people like yourselves, go onto our YouTube channel and subscribe, the more people that aren't part of US Amps talk about US Amps, type about US Amps online, it grows organically, and it squashes shit like that when it's paid for. If I recall correctly, I think those power numbers are from 15.5 to 16 volts in Brendan's vehicle. I don't know what you're talking about, Dalton. I don't think Brendan has impacts in his car, and I don't think we ever put impacts in his car. I'll be honest with you, Dalton, I don't know. I'm sure he's probably still running, 15 volts or so, but I don't think he's running anywhere close to 16 anymore, because he doesn't have the C-Max in there anymore. He now has the Glow Voltage / US Amps LTO chemistry in there. Are the 442 and HC amps a Dirk design, a MJ design, or a combo? So long story short, I will do this as quick as possible. For those of you that don't know, initially I was brought in by a few other people that wanted to bring the line back. They wanted to bring US Amps back. I was told they had already worked on they had rights to use the name. I had heard, or I was told, that they had already reached out to Mr. Kim and it was all good and taken care of. I was told that one of these two people was one of the original engineers for US Amps, and I was told that he had designed 3 amplifiers and they were already in the build house. All they wanted me to do was be the CEO because they didn't know anything about running a business. I agreed, as long as it didn't require any money. I will fast forward a year. That engineer was not an engineer, nor did he ever have anything to do with US Amps. He was a con artist, and he was trying to get me and other people to invest into US Amps, which he had no right to use, and all he had was a build house that was willing to sell him amplifiers if he paid for them, which in China, you could throw a rock and hit 100 of them in the industrial area, Guangdong. Anyway, so this is already a year in, John. I'm trying to make the story short. I had found out that the designs that he was using was an old, or not an old, 3 old SCAR designs. That cannot happen. So after removing him, removing the other person, because they were both in cahoots, they were just trying to get us to invest money, get the amplifiers delivered to them, sell them for cash, and split the profits, or split the money, because they didn't put money into it. So once I found out what was going on, I introduced myself. Thankfully, Rigo reached out to me and got me in touch with Mr. Kim. I bought the company properly, outright, and had the rights to do it. Not outright, sorry, I made payments on it, which thank you to Mr. Kim for allowing me to do that. Then I reached out to the build house to stop what they were doing. They had the 50HC, 100HC SQ442. The designs were, they'll use anybody's anything there. I sent them the USA 2000, USA 2000X, an SQ442, the older design, and an old 100HC. I overnighted them, 3 or 4 amplifiers. After buying the company with Mr. Kim, I was sent a lot of BOM files and Gerber files, which for those of you who don't know, that has to do with printed circuit board design, and BOM file goes along with the Gerber file and tells you which, there's numbers that coincide with every, here, let me show you this here. Here, so for instance, every component on this board is numbered. Here, you see here, let's see. You see right next to that resistor, there's a number. It says like R243. Okay, so a BOM file, if you go to R243, it would tell you what that is, what value it is, and what, whether it's a resistor or a capacitor or whatever it is. So I have those for most of the older amplifiers. I reached out to, at the time, John, sorry, I'll try to make this as short as possible. I reached out to a few people that are well known in the industry as amp repair techs, whatnot. Some of them still mock me today, but one of them wanted $65,000 per design plus a portion of the company moving forward. One of them wanted $85,000 per design and to be part owner, and one of them wanted $45,000 per design and a portion of the royalties moving forward that would increase with the growth of the company. None of which I had at the time. I had already put $80,000 into the 3 amp designs that were there because we had to buy a certain amount. So I reached back out to the build house. I said, look, I'm sending you these 4 amplifiers. We're gonna try to make the 442, the 100HC, and the 50HC based on the designs I've sent you. I'm not going to send you the BOM files and Gerber files of these old amplifiers unless you sign paperwork, which I made them sign. And then I went online and found an AI program that helped me design the Gerber file and BOM file for what I wanted. It actually tests it afterwards to make sure that it works. I sent those to the build house. They said if I agreed to buy, I think it was 1,500 units of each at the time, or 3,000 units of each, that they would also assist with finishing the design and making sure that it worked. Cool, sounds good to me. At this point, I'm kind of stuck. So that's what we did. The 100HC, SQ442, and 50HC that you guys, just like this, that you guys are using, that you guys love, is a mixture of the old school. I mean, if you look at this and you don't see a USA 2000 or 2000X, then you don't know what you're looking at. I mean, it really, really, really looks like a 2002 or a 2000X. And that was the point. So, this was not the first design that came out. I have 2 or 3 that came out before, and I still actually physically have those. I don't have the 442 because I gave that to somebody as a gift. See, this is a 50HC and this is a 100HC, but you see them sitting next to. The silver on the bottom is our new 100HC. That was the second rendition of the 100HC. It just didn't, I liked it. The rest of the team at the time did not like it, and I let them vote, and they voted to scrap it and start over again. So that's kind of what I did, and that's how we ended up with what we have now. Be wise. What's up, brother? How are you? Gotta run, Mike. Yes, thank you. Thanks. Definitely gonna need some fans with a 442 and 4360 stuff behind the back seat. Absolutely. Got something ordered. Should spice up the velocity at the window real soon. All right. Do you recommend doing 1/0 on the Impact series, or will it do it justice with the rest of the electrical upgrades to the vehicle? Don't understand. Is that a question or a comment? Do you recommend doing 1/0 on the Impact series, or will it do it justice with all the rest of the electrical upgrades to the vehicle? I think I answered this question for you already, Jacob, but I'm going to say it again. If you have a stock vehicle and you're going to run an Impact 100.4 and an Impact 1000.1, I don't think you need to upgrade your electrical system. Depending on the age of your battery, depending on the age of your alternator and the vehicle, and if you take the time to do the big 3 upgrade, which is take the battery positive, battery ground, and upgrade those to a minimum of 1/0. 1/0 is great. If you can go bigger, it's not going to hurt. The ground that goes from the alternator to the block and then to the frame, also upgrade. The power that goes from the alternator to the, if I said that already, sorry. Let me just say this. All of your factory powers and grounds, from your alternator to your battery to your block, frame, whatever it goes to, all of that needs to be upgraded to the minimum of the size that you plan to run to your amplifiers. If you don't do that, you're not going to get the current that you want out of what you're sending to the back. Okay? But if you do that, Jacob, you should be okay. Do that upgrade. Don't buy the cheapest 1/0 wire. That's not going to help you. You need to have 1/0. It's important that what you're using has the ampacity, has the ability to carry the current that you want it to build. A lot of this 1/0 is all jacket and no wire. It's important that the wire is there. You can't go cheaper with wire, just like you shouldn't go cheaper with equipment. Don't buy the cheaper alternator. Don't buy the cheaper battery. Cheaper is good is never cheap, and cheap is never good. Okay, so 1/0 Do all your upgrades up front, your big three. 1/0 from your power and your ground of your alternator to the wherever is closest to your amplifiers. This is a good place to do. Within 19 inches of that power, you should do a fuse, if you're going to fuse it. Okay, within 19 inches of the source, which is your alternator. Once you get to the back, distribution block, one for your power, one for your ground. Then from there, you can go your 1/0 to 4 gauge and just make sure it's closest to the amplifier. The closer to the amplifier you are, the better it's going to be for your amps. Or you can do all 1/0, even the distribution blocks, and use the 1/0 to 4 gauge reducers. That's what I do. But completely up to you, Jacob, either way. But you should be able to run both of those amplifiers on your factory alternator and factory battery. Now, I don't know where you are. If you're in Florida and your battery is 3 years old, don't go putting a system in your car and being upset when the battery goes bad the next morning. 3 years is maximum down here in Florida. I don't care what your battery is. For a regular AGM, okay? Not lithium. I think the input on the impact amps is 4 gauge. Almost positive. Yeah, that's 4 gauge. It's 4 gauge. We use reducers. All right. Of course, Canary. No, I'm looking forward to everything you guys do there, man, and I want to support 100%. 100%. I like the skib cells, Steven. I'm currently using them in one of my builds. I have no problem with them. They're great. I don't like that you're forced to charge higher. The whole industry has started doing the higher charge rate because of the crappier designed full bridge and half bridge amplifiers, and that's, they use that as a trick to try to make the amplifiers make more power. Whereas if the amplifier is designed properly, it will make its rated power and then some at regular normal charge-in voltage and amperage. I do have a few skib cells if anybody needs them. I'm no longer using them. If somebody needs skib, let me know. I have two 43.5 amp hour skib banks that were in the Raider. If they have maybe 2 hours, 3 hours total play time on them, I'd be very surprised. They've always been charged properly. They're in US amps boxes, but they don't need to be. We can do whatever you want if you're interested. I'll gladly sell them. Excuse me 1 second here, guys. What else we got? Still want to come out to the shows. Okay, absolutely. Honda Fit, that's what it is, darn it. Sorry, man. I tell you, my brain some days, I can't keep up. I can't keep up. I was up 3D printing last night. I'm getting very excited about these Merlin 8s, man. The Merlin X8s. Working on the 10s as well, thanks to Kyle. Kyle's working on that for me, hopefully. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. I'm interested in that square body Blazer, man. That was actually one of my first vehicles. that I built for myself back in the day. It was Good and Plenty. It was pink and purple. It said Good and Plenty on it. I had two bumper 15s on the Sherwood 240. I think at one point I did end up with 4 on 2 Sherwood 240s. Seeing that red 442 in front of the camera confirms it for me. The red looks good. I love the red. I do. That's why this last order of 442s I asked for all red, because the red pops. The red pops. It does. Well, I guess I could move the camera so you guys can kind of see what I'm doing here, maybe. Is that help? Let's see how it is. Maybe that help. There we go. All right. Peter, how are you? Ryan, what's up, my friend? How are you? I'm referring to the Merlin 5K doing close to 9. Yes, you are correct. That was probably in the higher 15s. And that was also on the Term Lab. It was not on the dyno. That was on the Term Lab. So it should be very close to real life numbers. I don't know how much closer you can get than that. Oh boy, where is my trusty screwdriver? There it is. All right. So let's see. Wondering in reference to published numbers and the 5,500 to 6,000 I see in my vehicle with the Merlin 5K. Well, again, remember what you're comparing to, and let's stop concentrating so much on the voltage. Yes, the voltage is important, but you can have 15.5 volts and only have 600 amps. If you have 15.5 volts and only 600 amps, when that amplifier goes to draw the current and it's not there, it's only going to make what it has. Okay? So, if you're close by, Dalton, why don't you come by one day? Let us see what you got going on there. I know you're intelligent. I can see by what you do. And I love your subs. They look great. Your box design that you show me with the port and stuff, that's so cool. I'm not trying to... people think that when I talk or try to help that I'm being condescending or talking down to you. I'm in no way doing that. I'm attempting to help. If you're only seeing that kind of power out of... If you're only seeing that kind of power out of that amplifier, and you're trying to get more out of it, then there's an issue. And I'd like to resolve that issue for you. Bill of materials. I don't know what that is. File for schematics. I'm old. Inputs on the amps are 4 gauge. Hey Mike, I'm planning an infinite baffle in my wife's 24 Camry. Can you build a 15 for it? Yes, of course. Yes, I can build an impact that will efficiently run on an impact, or build a subwoofer that will efficiently run on an impact amplifier. Yes, of course. Honestly, I mean, the only reason we don't have a storage house full of subwoofers is not because I don't want them. I don't have the capital to do it. The Merlin amps are selling like crazy, and a lot of people don't buy subwoofers from us. So for me to put out $200,000 to get subwoofers here, or so they can sit, or $200,000 to get amplifiers here that I can't keep on the shelves, it only makes sense. Unless somebody out here in US Amps land wants to be part of a bigger order, you can maybe get some amps at cost or something. I'd welcome that. I'd welcome that. We can put something in writing or something like that. I'm trying to get more of the Merlin amps here. We've already placed an order. But if we can up the order, then the price comes down and it saves us, you know? Or if somebody wants to be part of the subwoofer order, hey, let me know, man. I'm open to it. I'm getting too old to keep running this shit like myself, by myself. I'm going crazy over here. All right. Thanks for all the info and the history of the amps. Sounds like quite the ride. And yes, the board similarities to the amps is clear and appreciated. You are doing things right with this company, offering new versions of AB amps. The company is legendary for while making new brutal Class D and offering affordable, reliable things like the Impacts. Keep in mind of OG. Thank you. I appreciate that. And that's literally almost verbatim what my intentions were, are, and have been. We could have very easily released those Scar design amplifiers, and for people that don't know any better, we probably could have sold them and made our money and been done with it. But that's not what I got involved for. When I was asked to be part of US Amps, I literally almost not only fell over, but what I remember of US Amps as a young installer and a young audiophile, man, I'm honored. I feel blessed to be part of this company. That's why I don't fuck around, man. I do not fuck around when it comes to this brand. You guys don't know that by now? I think that's why you fuck with me. You fuck with me because you know I don't play when it comes to this brand. I don't play when it comes to our products. I don't play when it comes to quality. And don't get me wrong. I've made mistakes, but it's because of lack of knowledge, not because I knew there was something better we could have done. I've never released something knowing that there was something wrong with it. If there's something wrong with it, then it wouldn't be released. We would fix it first. And I think you guys know that about me. You guys see that in all of the R&D and all the stuff that we go through before anything goes into production. And I think you guys appreciate that. So I know I would if I was a customer. I don't understand why more brands don't do it. You don't have to be an engineer to test out equipment to see if it does what it's intended to do. And don't just see that it can do what it's supposed to do. Make sure it can exceed those expectations. Thank you, Mike. You just answered all my questions. Absolutely, Jacob. I'm sorry, man. I'm glad that came through. Hit me up about those batteries. Okay. Did you see my amp resistor pass lock repair? Radio Shack needs to come back. Yes. Is that what that was? I wasn't sure. All right. I think I've caught up on all your questions here. So don't forget, tomorrow we are going to do another Tuning Tuesdays with US Amps. We're going to show you how to properly set up your mids and highs signal from the source through your DSP to your amplifier and to the speakers. Christian Koprova, how are you? Really looking forward to, I think Tony said they might have the subs back in the Z-Tony 8 this afternoon. That's pretty exciting. We haven't, they've been working very hard on that car the last 2 weeks. And it's really not, I hate doing that, especially when we have other vehicles to work on, but if we can't properly show off our product, then I'm doing something wrong. So it sickens me the amount of money that I've spent paying other people to do things improperly on that car. But again, some of the things were done not intentionally. I think a lot of the things were done, again, just like us, for lack of better knowledge. But I do know that some things were done just out of pure fucking laziness, and I honestly, there's no excuse for that in my book, because I'm fucking 50 years old and I'm not in the best health, but I do not let that stop me. Your body is made up of muscles. Your brain is a muscle. You control it. It does not control you. If you say I can't, then you've created that. You've said I can't. Nobody's made you not do it. You've made it. I've seen people with no legs run. I've worked with people third shift at the post office that were quadriplegics but still needed the money, so they got their ass to fucking work and work the night shift. I don't put up with excuses for nobody, because I've been there. I've been homeless. There's no excuse. If you want something, you got to go get it. Nobody's going to give it to you. This is our Cerakote Purple. For those of you that have not seen the Cerakote Purple, if you have not seen the colors available, that means you have not gone to our YouTube channel. I do have a short clip on there that I shared of every color that US Amps currently offers for the 50HC, 100HC, and SQ442. Thinking about possibly doing classes for the different things that we do here that we have knowledge of and can share to people. I don't know if that would be of interest to anybody. You don't have to necessarily come here with the technology we have nowadays. It's something that can be done remotely. It could be done one-on-one or in a group. I don't know. My wife brought it up, and I think she's on to something. We got to fine tune it and figure out what works for everybody. All right. Oh, shoot. Come on, you sucker. Alright, that's gotta come out. Got any more questions here? Sorry, I've been working. Hey. Good afternoon. What is the copper looking? Yes, that's Kapton tape. Thank you for answering, Josh. All right, let's see. get this set up in here. Are we close? Yes. Hey, where's my favorite screwdriver? Somebody has my favorite screwdriver and I don't like it. I'm not happy. I'm not happy. So, for those of you who don't know what I'm doing, I'm marking holes where I have to drill holes for the standoffs. Standoffs are, for lack of a better term, basically kind of like a structural support for the PCB. For all the people that like to mount their amps to their subwoofer box, and it kind of helps keep it rigid, stop it from bouncing around and potentially shorting out the back side of the board, hitting the metal, or all right. Any other questions before I drill? Ah, very good. I love the answers. Absolutely. I love that you guys are talking amongst yourself and answering questions. I love it. I love it. I love it. So, I am going to set up the Term Lab and use the resistor bank of the 81 dyno. That's something I've been wanting to do for a while. I'm going to try to do that. I got a couple of big orders, one for Woofers Etc., one for our dealer over in Guyana, and now I think our other guy in Tobago just placed a small order as well. So I have a couple big orders to pump out, but then after that I'm going to work on the source, the touchscreen head unit, and work on getting this dyno to actually be able to test equipment so we can see what our equipment does. All right. Very important to keep your work area clean. One of the very first SQ442s that I sent to Rigo. Actually, you know what? I sent it to Rigo for him to bring to Marius Dorneen at LF Audio for testing. I think when they went to go turn it on, it didn't work. And I knew that I had tested it before it left here, so it didn't make sense to me. But come to find out, Rigo wanted to take some pictures of it and took the cover off. When it went to Dirk, and Dirk investigated, there was a piece of hair that had laid across two legs and shorted out. I don't remember if it was a transistor or what, but it laid across two legs and ended up shorted. You know what? I'm going to refreshen the thermal paste on these guys. Make sure that we're good. Any more questions, guys? What we got? No, I had the torque turned extremely far down and the speed turned down, even though it sounded loud. This, again, I don't want to drill through it. And even though I have the depth kind of set, I'm still always careful and conscious that I'm going to, it might look like I'm pushing down, but I'm not. I'm actually holding the drill to make sure that it doesn't just go through. That bit actually is new. That's one I just put on, I think Friday, because the one that I had in there had gone bad. I had been using it for 3 years, I think. That is a brand new bit. And don't get me wrong, the version 2 heat sinks, which that's what this is a version 2. It does have a little more of, alloy metals. I don't know what else they're putting in there that's not aluminum, but whatever that other percentages of other metals definitely makes it it's a little harder to drill than just the aluminum alone. I've done both. Oh, it's all good, buddy. I know. Going to try my best to make sure that when we show up at the Florida State Car Audio Finals, all of the Team US Amps vehicles that are, owned in-house, ours. I can't speak for others, and there's always going to be the vehicles that, they're not show vehicles. They're just, they're just SPL. They're just made for falling apart, violent sound, whatever. But moving forward, I want to make sure that the vehicles that we bring as a company to represent the brand are nice. I remember a time where you didn't go to a show if your car wasn't done, Don't get me wrong, there's always, under construction or changing things to upgrade or whatever, and I'm not picking on anything, I've been there, done it, but somebody made a comment a few weeks ago and it bothered me. Somebody said on a post, how come every car that I see that's US Amps looks like a piece of shit? And I had to, of course, show him a lot of the builds that we've done, because not everybody knows about, the SEMA vehicle and the other vehicles that we've done, or Phil's done with US Amps. And I mean, we have a lot of nice stuff out there. Big John Suburban is beautiful. Brendan did a great job on that build. The Del Sol is gorgeous. It's a beautiful install. It sounds amazing. Jeffrey Allen's truck, if it was painted and the interior just finished up just a little bit, I think that truck is beautiful, man. The build on it's gorgeous. That build is actually what led me to want to meet Tony to begin with, Tony Cotton. He was the one that did that, and I saw the craftsmanship and the way he built the walls to be part of the truck, and that's the difference. I honestly think there's a place for the steel cage and concrete and all of that, but I still think that there's a certain amount that has to be wood for the resonance, you know, that the wood makes. I mean, it can't be completely dead. It's got to have a little give to it for a wave, man. I don't know. All right. Now she's home. Now she's home. I have to take a break from building for a couple days. Messed up my back this weekend. Oh no, you were making such good progress, Eric. Damn it, man. If there's anything we can do to help, Eric, please let me know. Feel free. If you really think you were on track to get it finished, I'm not opposed to putting one of our, you know, whether it's the Nissan, well, yeah, the Nissan or the Raider, I don't know. I'm not opposed to putting one of ours on the side to help you get yours done, but you would probably have to get it here. So think about it. Let me know, brother. La Vaca. I like the name. La Vaca. I don't know the translation, but I like it. All right. I've tried very hard, man, over the last 5 years to cultivate, you know, what I call the US Amps family, and to try to treat every customer like a friend, or, you know, everybody I come in contact with, I try to treat you like I want to be treated. Unfortunately, that's not always reciprocated. And dude, everybody has bad days. I get it. Trust me. Most of my days end up frustrating, and but you can't take that out on other people, and you definitely can't take it out on me and expect to get away with it to where I'm not just gonna just block you, man. I don't have the time for it. I don't. If I feel like, you know, we as people we're like computers. You know, we have a hard drive. We only have so much that we can give of ourselves. So if I'm taking part of that little bit I have and giving it to you, and you're choosing to be an asshole or whatever you want to call it, then I don't have time for it, man. I won't do it. I won't do it to myself. I won't get frustrated. I won't get mad. My days of fighting are long behind me, and I don't wish to be that way or feel that way anymore in my life. I want to surround myself with people that are good, people that want to, you know, do good and excel and succeed. And I'm very busy, and yes, that's my own fault. But if you cannot, I don't blame my hectic schedule or take that out on the next person I talk to. I try to be conscious of that. I can't make my hectic schedule your problem, just like you can't make your bad day or your whatever issue you're dealing with my problem. It's not fair. I don't do it to you, so I don't expect it to be done to me. People treat me like a bank and expect me to just jump, and it's not just one. I'm not directing this at anybody in particular. I'm saying it as a blanket statement. People think because I have a company that I'm rich. It couldn't be further from the truth. first of all. But second of all, even if it were true, it doesn't mean that I'm your bank. If you need things from me, or you're doing something for me and for me, and you want to be paid, like you got to be on a schedule, man. You can't just expect me to jump when you want me to jump. I'm not your trained monkey. I love and appreciate everything that everybody does for me. But I cannot be hounded and just mistreated, man. I apologize for what happened here earlier, you guys. It's embarrassing and it shouldn't have happened live. It's gonna happen and more people will do it, but it just shows their character. And those are the kind of people that I'm trying to avoid in my life, man. I don't talk to a lot of the people in my own blood family for things like that, you know? They think I'm a bank. I am not. And if they choose to not work and that's what they want to do with their time, that's on them. But I work very hard for everything that I've accomplished and everything that we've achieved so far, and I don't do it just to give it away. Nobody's given me anything. I've worked my fucking ass off for it. I'm very proud of where we've come and where we've gotten to, especially with the hurdles. And there's been more than we've even shared publicly, trust me, but that just motivates me more, man. People talking smack and people literally trying to purposely sabotage. That's all good, man. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'll deliver pizzas if I have to keep this company running. I will do whatever I have to do until I've found the proper person to take over and bring it to where it needs to be, beyond what I can do. And they're out there. There's somebody out there that will run this company better than I have and can hopefully bring it to the next level. I can't wait to find that person. There's no ceiling to what US Amps can be. The only thing that stops that is us, is what we do here, and I don't plan on holding it back in any way, shape, or form. I want US Amps to be like Alpine or Pioneer or whatever, but better. All right, so this is all together. Let me get some rags and clean this up. Alcohol only. Do not use anything else. 99% alcohol. I use that to clean off anodize or thermal paste. It will not damage the anodized coating or the Cerakote coating. Anything else that's heavier may affect the coating. I don't know. But I do know that alcohol, isopropyl alcohol, does not. It just takes the thermal paste off without making it sticky and it getting everywhere. I don't know who else does shit like this, but you show him to me and I will shake his hand. I care about every piece of equipment that has our name on it that leaves this door. And it's hard to find people that care that much. All right. Put these end plates on. Matt Pecor, are you going to be able to make it to the Florida State Car Audio Finals? Didn't really get to spend too much time with you last time. You came like late on Sunday, and I was kind of wrecked from being out there all day Saturday, dude. It literally gives me like an emotional hangover being around that many people. I'm not a big crowd person. I apologize, but I definitely like to see the new system and check out the new version of your build. I think should be getting down pretty good with what you got now. I'm suspect of the enclosure, unfortunately, but I told you that from when I saw the design of it. I think you remember that. But it's nothing that can't be remedied, and that's what I would like to do is help you out. I want to help you get to where it is that you're trying to be, whatever that may be. I don't know if you guys hear that in the background, but it is pouring. It is raining very heavy here. Alright. Man, that purple's nice. Almost looks like a Barney purple. Man, I was doing one of these the other day, and I had just drilled the standoff holes, and I didn't put this back on number 4. It was still on drill, and when I went to put the side plates on, it over torqued and snapped the bolt head off. I was so mad. I had to completely take the amp apart and start over, drill out that. I threw it to the side. I didn't want to give it to anybody. So I got thermal paste here. What a good looking amp, man. I'm talking to Seongson about the next run of our Merlin amps having the US amps wire in it. Trying to work that out, and I'm waiting for their response. I don't know if they're gonna allow it or fight me on it or what, but regardless, I want to make sure that the next run is all OFC internally. Not that it should matter, because you shouldn't be near any moisture or anything that would affect having CCA inside the amplifier, but nonetheless, we aren't building amps that can only last a week. We're building amplifiers that you can pass on to your son or daughter. At least that's my thought. So there we go, nice and tidy, as Fred would say. And here you go. You have a purple US Amps SQ442 version 2. Version 2 heatsink, I should say. Sorry. Alright. I forget whose amp this is. Have to look on the board over there. One more filled. All right, so we're just at 2 o'clock here. Let me see if we have any other questions. If not, I'm going to let you go because we'll be back on again tomorrow for Tuning Tuesdays with Tony and Mike and the whole crew here at US Amps. Gotta go. Got more shows to add to ACCL calendar. Hey, awesome. That's great to hear. All right, you guys, have a good day. Thank you for everything. Hey, Mike Stancy, how are Stasny? I'm not sure if I'm saying it right, man, but you know. Ah, that's funny. Michael Rodriguez, thank you for everything you're sharing, man. All right, you guys. For those of you that I didn't answer your questions, feel free to shoot me a message. Brendan TBO Gardner, what's up, my brother? Robert Sparks, how are you? Jack Hembold, what's up, man? Thank you guys very much. Enjoy the rest of your day. Spend some time with your family, and thank you for being part of ours, the US Amps family. Have a good day, guys. Remember, go to usampsinc.com to order your equipment today. And please, please, please take 5 minutes and go to YouTube and subscribe to the US Amps YouTube channel. Thank you, guys. Have a good day.